Okay, I will be talking about algebraic systems, its set and its binary operation, and we talked about so many properties like commutativity, identity element, inverse element, associativity, and so on and so forth. And we want to go deeper. We want to discuss the other properties that makes the algebraic system richer, stronger, and that's what we want to discuss today. But before we do that, before we go to the definition of a group, let's discuss some things. First, let's consider a set and a binary operation, this. Okay, so for all, what is A, B in X? So for all the elements in this, the cancellation law states that A asterisk B probably equals A asterisk C, so let me add C to this. This follows that B is equals to C. This is actually the left cancellation law, and B asterisk A equals to C asterisk A follows that B is also equals to C. This is the left cancellation law, this is the right cancellation law. This holds if A is different from 0, that is, if it is defined on that. Now, this is a very beautiful concept, cancellation law, we must understand. Now, if this is an algebraic system, the truth is that if this is associative, so if this is associative on the set X, if it's associative for all the elements, this is called, so this with this is called a semigroup. So this is called, an algebraic system is called a semigroup if you are very sure that it's associative. So if you're talking about just one property, I know that this binary operation is associative, then you call that particular algebraic system a semigroup. What if we had one more property, and that property is the identity element? So let's consider the fact that this is associative and it also contains the identity element. So if star is associative and also has the identity element that's E in X, and the property of the identity element also holds, then we can say that X and this is a monoid. So this becomes a monoid. So it's a monoid because it's associative, the binary operation is associative on the set, and the non-empty set, please take note that our X here is non-empty. And it's associative and has identity element, we call this a monoid. That now the good news. We already know that this algebraic system we're talking about is closed. But if it contains one more property, if for all A in X, A inverse exists. Let's take note, let's take this as the inverse of A. So if for all elements this A inverse exists, then we have a good news. Then X is called a group. So before we call an algebraic system a group, it means that it is associative, it has the identity element, it has the inverse element, and it is closed. Those four properties make a particular algebraic system a group. That is why we have this to be a it has 1, it is closed. That is for F for all. So for all AB in X, AB, A after B is in X. Second property is that's the closure property. It is associative. I don't need to write that, it is in my last video. 3, it has the identity element. It has the identity element. I've discussed that in my last video. And IV, it has the inverse element. For every element here, every element has its inverse. So 1, 2, 3, 4 property makes this a group. What is an example of a group? We have so many. But I will just give an example. This is a wonderful group. An example of a group, a set of real numbers with the binary operation addition. What does that mean? It means if you pick any number here, it is closed. They have the identity element. Identity element here is 0. The inverse element to A here, any A here is actually 1 over A, and it is associative, as I showed in my last video. So that makes it a group. We also have the group of matrices. The group of matrices is actually maybe 2 by 2 matrices, A, B, C, D. So D is also what we call the GNLR. GNLR. So this is the group of all square matrices. This group of all square matrices, it's actually a group. But is it abelian or not? I'm going to discuss abelian group in my next video. Remember to subscribe, remember to share, and also remember to sponsor. Thank you and bye.